See you both. Alive.
Oh, come on. You know I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Even a man like you can't know everything. At least you're all alive.
Well, not all of us. Young Odorin, Anna of Volstein, and several other nobles are dead. It was slaughter.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
We'll figure out a way to help them.
But how? Our plans are ruined.
Get a grip. Whining doesn't help anyone.
You're right. When I drink too much wine, I get overwhelmed with self-pity. Nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. And very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join. This is a nightmare. Jesus Christ.
What happened when von Berkhoff hauled you off after the Nabokov battle?
It was a dreadful journey. Jesus, don't even remind me. It was a bit better in Malashov. Apart from being locked up, of course.
Did anything happen along the way?
No, but it took ages to get to Malashov. 4 or 5 days in that god-awful cart. I was traveling with von Owlet's minions. They hauled me in one of the wagons. They treated my wounds a bit, but I was still in a really bad way. After that battle and all.
What did they do with you in Malashov?
Nothing much, actually. They took care of my wounds, and then stuck me in a room with Brabant. But they treated me decently, as befits a noble. Von Berkhoff came asking questions a couple of times, but that was about it. Only I almost went mad from being cramped in that damned room. It's a good thing you got me out of there.
What was the problem with the room?
That I couldn't get out of there. You saw yourself when you came for me, didn't you? It's just that since Nabokov, when they shot the tower right down on my head and I was stuck there. Well, since then, I don't feel well in cramped spaces. Actually, I never did. I always preferred to be outdoors. But since Nabokov, it's worse than ever. I had a feeling the roof would fall on my head again and I'd be buried alive.
What did von Berkhoff want from you?
Just the usual courtesies. The captivity of nobles has to observe certain formalities, you know? It's not like they can just throw you in some hole. They behaved fairly respectfully, but of course he was fishing for information about Radzig and Hanush and especially Jobst. What they're planning, how many men they have on the field, who else they're negotiating with and that.
And what did you tell him?
Nothing that he didn't already know. I played as dumb as the village idiot. I only told him they sent us with that message and discussed the rest when we were gone.
And did he swallow it?
I think he suspected I was bluffing a bit, and then he tried to loosen my tongue by letting me go hungry for a while. But he soon gave up when he saw he was getting nothing more from me.
My word. Nice work keeping him at bay. I understand. It's a bit awkward for you that the nobility lives in castles.
That's a fact. Once I get my hands on my estates, I'll build a new castle that only has huge rooms and lots of spacious courtyards. And above all, no secret passages.
Great. I'm really looking forward to this new castle of yours.
You can be the castellan or something. Don't worry, I won't forget you. I'll even have a forge built so you feel right at home.
They didn't let you out at all. But you were in that room for ages.
No. They let us walk around the fortress a bit. We even went out for a ride twice, but they watched us like hawks. Not a chance of escape. But most of the time we were in that room. Like I say, I'm really glad you got me out of that hole.
But the main thing is, you're alive and kicking. And back with us.
Indeed.
What do you make of this Brabant fellow?
He's unquestionably a remarkable knight, that Vatlin. He rambles on a lot, though. My head nearly burst listening to him sometimes. Although it was better than being stuck there alone. Otherwise, he seems to me like a bold and worldly gentleman, if a little obsessed with wealth.
I honestly can't stand him. He's as full of tales as an old fishwife, and half of them sound very unlikely indeed.
No one's perfect. As for his constant chatter, you have to learn how to shut him up, and ideally not get locked up in one room with him. On the other hand, when Sigismund invaded, he could have easily just stepped aside and kept his nose out of it, and he'd still be sitting pretty in Miskovitz. Instead, he did the opposite, and defended the town. Give him a chance to prove himself. You'll see for yourself.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Nothing sacred to them. Such a bloodbath.
They're not people. They're animals.
Animals my arse. I've been taking care of animals all my life, and they'd never do anything like that. No. Only men do such things. Good.
There's nothing sacred to them. Such a bloodbath.
They're not people. They're animals.
Animals my arse. I've been taking care of animals all my life, and they'd never do anything like that. No. Only a nightmare.
That's an understatement. The dead are scattered outside. There are crows circling overhead. The tower is still smoking. And you want to run away.
Here shouted even louder.
Only Yobst and the reptile hordes left.
I'm not saying yourselves together, damn it. And prove for this alliance is just a farce.
Why do they call you the Dry Devil, anyway?
Why do they call you fuckhead?
But they don't call...
All right, I was only joking. I don't even know how I got the nickname. Suppose it could have something to do with all the killing and my natural beauty. It's certainly catchier than His Grace Sir Hinnek the First of Kunstad and Yashpitz. That name wouldn't scare a fucking coward. But say it Dry Devil, and everybody just shits themselves.
How do you know Kubyanka?
He saved my arse back at Neuhaus. We only made it out thanks to him. I thought we were fucked. But then, Kubyanka appeared, dragging a ladder, asking how much we would pay for it.
What did he get for it?
The first thing he got was a good fucking beating, because we thought he'd been dead for 2 days. But after we escaped, we made sure he didn't have to pay for drinks for a long time.
How long have you known Zizka?
It's been a while. He served with me during the Moravian Margrave Wars.
So you were his commander, sir?
That's water under the bridge now. I'm just an old wanted robber baron whose neck you and Zizka just saved. I don't give a shit about the sirs anymore, you see?
Ah, all right then. What can you tell me about Zizka?
Well, based on what you two have been through, I'd say you should know him pretty well by now. When everything is fucked, people around you are dying and you're fighting for your very life, only then can you really learn what a person is like.